Hello everyone. From everywhere you are there, receive our greetings from Parlons Projet. We are happy to have you connect. Alors, merci infiniment d'être connecté. C'est un honneur pour nous une fois de plus de vous avoir à cette 11e édition de Parlons Projet, une édition spéciale avec des personnes spéciales également on a la chance aussi d'être accompagné pour cette édition avec le Project Management Institute Africa, avec qui on va faire un focus sur une certification qui devient de plus en plus brisée, qui est en train de changer carrément la donne dans l'économie de projet, dans le secteur de la construction. On va parler notamment du PMI-CP, Construction Professional, qui est une certification en gestion de projet orientée dans le secteur de la construction. On a la chance d'avoir des personnes indiquées de calibre qu'on ne présente plus dans cette économie. Toujours un plaisir d'avoir le grand frère Lot avec qui on va animer cette session. Hello Lot.
Hello Isidore. Good evening to everyone. Bonsoir à tous et merci de vous être connectés. Donc, on va animer, comme Isidore l'a si bien dit, ce webinaire qui a pour objectif de nous aider tous à comprendre les apports de cette certification PMI-CP dans la maîtrise notamment de la complexité des projets de construction. Donc, je suis Kelly Jawat et je suis ravi d'être là. Isidore.
Thank you, Lot. Comme je disais, c'est toujours une session bilingue. So be ready to shift at any time in French and in English. Our panelists will try to do the same. Okay. You have the chance to have Priska qu'on ne présente plus. Priska aujourd'hui, on ne présente plus dans l'économie de projet. Elle se positionne notamment aujourd'hui comme une personne sûre de référence pour pouvoir accompagner des talents qui veulent devenir des chefs de projet. Donc, dans cette transition professionnelle, là, également dans l'accompagnement, dans la mise en œuvre ou bien dans la transformation des idées en réalité. C'est une change maker, comme on nous appelle au niveau du PMI. Hello, Priska. Some words to our audience.
Bonsoir Isidore, bonsoir tout le monde. Bon, je crois que tu m'as bien présenté. Donc, je suis Priska Wenjamaya, je suis chef de projet senior avec plus de 12 ans d'expérience dans les projets, en ayant occupé plusieurs casquettes. J'ai plusieurs certifications, parmi lesquelles le PMP. Donc, je suis très honorée d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui et d'avoir été sollicitée pour échanger sur ce point.
Thank you very much, Priska. We are feeling in peace or blessed to have you this evening, and we hope that we will try to have the marks that we can have from you.
Yes.
Okay, I think we will follow with Whitney, a woman first. Okay, a woman in project management. Here they are. Whitney, please tell us something.
There-
Before you take the floor, we want to impact. Okay, so I know you are so humble. Okay, but in our community, we want to show the way. We want to impact. So try to give the best that we can give, even in your story. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you, Sidor, and good evening, everyone from all over Africa. Happy to be here. Happy to share knowledge. PMI-CP has been truly revolutionary for me as at an individual level. So my name is Whitney Mogo. I am a construction project manager working in Nairobi, Kenya, and a PMI-CP ambassador for Africa, Kenya, Africa. Been involved with PMI for some time now, and with the certification, it has really opened my eyes to best practices in construction and really put me at a place where I'm able to lead construction projects with confidence. And so I'm happy to be part of the panel this evening and to share insights, to share stories, to inspire, and to see how we are going to elevate the African construction professional. Thank you, and looking forward to interacting with you all.
Thank you. We need sure we have to elevate the Africa construction professional economy, construction economy. Yes, that's our challenge, and we are so. I'm trying to find the good word to say it. We are so impressed of your work you are doing for Africa. So thank you. Okay, and a great a warm great things to the Kenya, the PMI Kenya chapter. Uh, remember the in 2023 when we were in Nairobi at the global summit in Africa. So it was very a happy moment. Thank you for that. Uh, the last but not the least is Mario. Uh, Alors, Mario ne le présente plus. Pour ceux qui sont dans l'économie de projet, notamment dans la construction, que ce soit sur LinkedIn, que ce soit dans les shows du PMI, Mario, en fait, c'est celui-là même, en fait, qui m'a également donné envie d'aller dans cette certification après Lord. Hein. Lord, c'est mon mentor hein, pour PMI-CP. Voilà, ce sont les deux qui m'ont vraiment impacté, qui m'ont poussé à aller. Hello, Mario. Can you say something to our
Hello.
audience?
Hello, everyone. Good evening from wherever you joined us. It's my pleasure to be here and share the stage with seasoned professionals like you all and those who are in the audience. And I'm architect and passionate about construction. And the PMI changed the life and the way I think things go through projects. And the PMI-CP was that game changer in the way I see projects. And with this opportunity, I'm here to share experience with those professionals who want also to or are already in this journey. So it's my pleasure to be here to share with you insights and learn at the same time with other professionals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mario. That's the Africa we want. I want to invite us to observe something. You have here 3 countries, Cameroon, Kenya, and Angola. Together you can do things. We are very happy for tonight's for this evening session. It's a special one. Ok, Lord, je pense que pour la suite, c'est toi qui as la recette. Je vais te laisser tout simplement le lead pour la suite. Je reste en observation, surtout au niveau des commentaires. Je vais inviter tous ceux qui nous écoutent à partager avec nous. C'est une session interactive. Il ne faut pas hésiter à contribuer. Cette certification a quelque chose de spécial. Et c'est le moment, en fait, de capter cela et pour pouvoir se positionner aussi dans l'économie du projet, notamment dans le secteur de la construction. Thank you a lot.
Okay, thank you very much, Isidore. So, once more, I'm saying good evening or good morning, depending on where you are, and welcome to this webinar dedicated to PMI-CP certification. So, I'm delighted to welcome you today to explore together how this certification can transform your approach to construction project management. We have brought together 3 exceptional experts who will share their expertise with us. But before you begin, I like to get to know you better. Let's launch a first interactive polls. So the question is a very simple one. I will use Slido, so I will invite anyone to scan the QR code. So I want Isidore, could you allow my screen to be shared?
Okay, I'm trying to do it.
Okay.
Okay. 1 minute.
Ok. Donc, nous allons, comme je l'ai expliqué tantôt, commencer notre session avec nos 3 experts exceptionnels qui vont partager avec vous leur expertise, avec vous et nous leur expertise. Et nous allons commencer en fait par un simple sondage pour pouvoir mieux vous connaître. Donc, nous invitons à scanner ce QR code pour ceux qui ont un téléphone ou à aller sur slido.com et à rentrer le code dièse 28 97 510 pour pouvoir nous dire est-ce que vous aviez entendu parler de la certification PMI-CP avant ce webinaire. So, we invite you to participate to this first interaction pool. The question is a very simple one. Using your phone, please scan the QR code or go straight to slido.com and enter the code start 2897510 and let us know did you know about PMI-CP before this webinar. That will take a few seconds, just a few seconds. When the different participants are answering to the pools, I will introduce Wenja Whisker to share with us why, from her point of view, managing construction projects could be complex. Wenja, Priska, I think you have the flow. The Slido will stay open and you have the flow.
Ok, merci Lot de me passer la parole. Bon, je vais commencer par dire que j'ai déjà eu à intervenir sur un certain périmètre sur des projets de génie civil ou alors de construction. Je suis aussi entourée de beaucoup de chefs de projet qui font dans le bâtiment. Et c'est en échangeant avec eux que j'ai pu collecter quelques plaintes. En échangeant avec eux et aussi en faisant des constats sur le terrain, j'ai pu collecter quelques plaintes. Déjà, pour ceux qui avaient déjà cette certification PMP, ils estimaient qu'elle n'était pas complète et qu'il y avait des réalités sur le terrain qu'ils vivaient et qu'ils avaient vraiment besoin d'avoir des outils plus appropriés et plus adaptés. Bon, pour ceux qui n'avaient pas la certification PMP, le retour, c'est que, bon, ils tirent juste leur retour des expériences des autres, donc ils ne sont pas très motivés à passer la certification PMP. Et je les rejoins, après avoir fait quelques études d'analyse, je les rejoins sur beaucoup de points. Le PMP, c'est une certification qui est généraliste, qui offre un socle vraiment solide de compétences en gestion de projets applicables sur tous les secteurs. Et lorsqu'on parle de ce principe-là, on comprend qu'il y a des spécificités que la certification ne peut pas aborder parce qu'elle se veut généraliste. Ce qui veut dire que c'est à chaque chef de projet en fonction de son environnement, en fonction du contexte d'un projet. Un chef de projet doit adapter les techniques qui ont été apprises dans le PMP à son projet. Donc, au niveau du bâtiment, de la construction, comme on veut dire, dans le secteur de la construction, il y a des défis qui sont particuliers et très spécifiques. Déjà parce que les projets de construction sont assez complexes. Et les défis sont de plusieurs ordres. C'est-à-dire, on a les défis d'ordre technique, on a les défis d'ordre contractuel ou alors même environnementaux que le PMP aborde, certes, mais peut-être pas avec le niveau de profondeur que les chefs de projet dans le secteur du bâtiment souhaitent. Donc, on va un peu aller dans le détail pour prendre un peu quelques cas que j'ai pu collecter. Le premier challenge que j'ai pu observer dans ce secteur, déjà dans le bâtiment, il y a une multiplicité de contrats. On gère plusieurs contrats. Pourquoi? Parce que même si on a gagné un projet avec un client, il y a des sous-traitances qu'on peut faire. Déjà dans le domaine de la plomberie, on peut prendre un sous-traitant pour faire la plomberie, pour faire l'électricité, et ça implique des contrats qui sont différents. Et on a un contrat avec notre client, on a des contrats avec ces prestataires-là qu'il faut pouvoir gérer. Il y a des interdépendances qui sont entre eux. Généralement, dans le PMP, on va aborder ça, on va voir les contrats un peu comme une boîte noire qu'il faut gérer. Mais dans la pratique, c'est un peu plus complexe parce que les contrats ont des clauses juridiques qui sont spécifiques. Il faut maîtriser, il faut savoir lire, il faut savoir négocier, il faut savoir gérer les litiges. Tout ça, ce sont des petits cas comme ça qui peuvent ralentir le projet ou bien même mettre en péril complètement un projet. Comme deuxième difficulté qu'on peut avoir aussi dans le secteur de la construction, c'est la coordination des interfaces. Il faut savoir que dans le secteur de la construction, on appelle l'interface les points de contact ou alors on peut dire tout simplement les interactions qu'il peut y avoir entre les entités. Donc, que ce soit entre les parties prenantes ou bien des disciplines, des lots techniques, peu importe. Donc, ce sont ces différentes interactions qu'il peut avoir entre ces entités-là. Et on a vu qu'il y a plusieurs contrats, il y a plusieurs lots, ce qui veut dire qu'il y a plusieurs lots. Il y a une interdépendance entre ces lots-là. Comment est-ce qu'on les gère pour éviter les blocages? Ça, ce sont des challenges comme ça que les professionnels dans ce secteur peuvent rencontrer de temps en temps. Il faut savoir comment synchroniser ces lots-là. Il faut avoir des outils pour pouvoir les synchroniser. Comme autre challenge qu'on peut rencontrer dans ces secteurs, c'est au niveau du périmètre. Le périmètre qui peut évoluer avec le temps. Certes, dans la gestion des projets, on est amené à gérer les changements, mais dans le secteur du bâtiment, on va dire que c'est un peu sensible parce que il y a plusieurs intervenants qui sont présents. On a les bureaux d'études, on a l'État, on a le client, bref, on a la maîtrise d'ouvrage, on peut même avoir encore des contrôleurs et tout. Il faut savoir comment coordonner tout ça, ces évolutions qui peuvent venir d'un intervenant, qui peut venir d'une partie prenante. Comment est-ce que on gère ces évolutions-là? Il faut vraiment trouver un moyen de formaliser ça. Sinon, on entre aussi dans des litiges. C'est pour ça qu'on parle de sensibilité dans ce secteur. Donc, dans le PMP, on va expliquer comment contrôler, comment cadrer le périmètre d'un projet. Mais les outils vraiment pour gérer ce changement-là dans un secteur comme celui-là, on va dire que ces professionnels ne se retrouvent pas. Il y a un petit bruit là. On va dire que ces professionnels ne se retrouvent pas. Donc, ils aimeraient avoir des procédures vraiment formelles pour pouvoir gérer ces différentes variations. Il faut pouvoir documenter, contrôler, faire valider ça. Sinon, avec tous ces intervenants, ça devient compliqué. L'autre point encore, on va parler de la gestion des risques. Dans le secteur du bâtiment, vraiment, si vous n'avez pas une expérience, une certaine expertise, il y a des risques que vous ne pourrez pas identifier. Et si vous ne pouvez pas identifier ces risques, vous ne pourrez pas anticiper. Et même lorsque vous aurez fait tout ça, il y a des événements qui surviennent, qui peuvent arriver. Je veux donner un exemple. Imaginons, nous sommes dans un projet de construction et puis il y a un éboulement, je veux dire, ou bien un glissement de terrain qui fait qu'on n'arrive pas à accéder au site pendant un certain nombre de jours. Si vous n'avez pas anticipé ça, comment est-ce que vous faites pour gérer le projet, pour gérer même le client? Parce que lui, il a un délai qu'il attend. Il ne faut pas oublier qu'il y a des pénalités aussi. Quand on est dans un projet aussi sensible, il y a des pénalités qui sont liées au retard des délais ou autre chose. Donc, comment est-ce qu'on fait pour anticiper ça? Et ça arrive. Ce sont des aléas qui peuvent arriver. Et actuellement, même pas seulement actuellement, ce que beaucoup font, c'est qu'ils se basent de l'expérience parce qu'ils n'ont pas les outils. Ils n'ont pas été formés sur ces spécificités-là dans le secteur du bâtiment. Donc, c'est avec l'expérience. Ils ont fait un premier projet. Il y a eu tel événement. Ils mettent ça dans des leçons apprises. Et puis, lorsqu'il y a un autre projet, c'est comme ça qu'ils se forment et qu'ils évoluent. Donc, voilà un peu une difficulté qu'on peut avoir comme ça sur le terrain. On va prendre encore un autre problème qu'on identifie, un autre challenge. Ici, c'est au niveau de la chaîne d'approvisionnement. Lorsque on est en train de parler de challenge, vraiment, il ne faut pas voir le domaine de la construction comme la construction d'une maison d'habitation. Il faut vraiment voir un gros projet où on a du matériel qui peut venir d'ailleurs, qui peut être importé. Et là, vous êtes dans un cas où vous avez un matériel que vous faites importer d'un pays, un autre que vous faites importer d'un autre pays. Tous ces délais-là, avec le suivi de la logistique qui va avec, il faut avoir une maîtrise des spécificités de la chaîne logistique dans le milieu du bâtiment pour pouvoir s'en sortir. Sans compter qu'il y a aussi des cas de pénurie. S'il y a un cas de pénurie du matériel, qu'est-ce que vous faites? Comment vous gérez ça par rapport aux clients? Ce sont des choses qui arrivent fréquemment et constamment. Donc, c'est une difficulté qui arrive et que le PMP donne des outils, certes, il vous permet de gérer cette chaîne d'approvisionnement-là, mais vraiment la maîtrise du circuit d'approvisionnement dans le secteur du bâtiment. C'est ça qui est un peu complexe. Et à ce niveau-ci, il ne faudrait pas qu'on soit dans du générique. Un autre challenge aussi, qui est, on peut dire qui est le dernier challenge que j'ai pu rencontrer, c'est la vie dans le chantier. Comment le chantier se passe. C'est-à-dire, comment est-ce qu'on suit un chantier avec les équipes qui sont sur un chantier? Vous avez tout un grand chantier, il y a des équipes qui sont là. Déjà, il faut pouvoir coordonner ces équipes-là. Il faut pouvoir gérer la conformité aux normes. Parce que peut-être ce que je n'ai pas précisé, il y a des normes de sécurité strictes qu'il faut maîtriser, qu'il faut respecter dans le secteur du bâtiment. Sinon, les conséquences sont directes. On peut se retrouver, on peut faire une inspection et ça aboutit à un arrêt des travaux. On peut dire on arrête de travailler pendant 48 heures, on vous interdit de continuer le travail en attendant que vous résolvez ce problème. Imaginez quelle est l'image de l'entreprise vis-à-vis du client. Comment est-ce que vous allez expliquer qu'on a interrompu parce qu'il y a eu un problème de vigilance, parce qu'il y a eu un non-respect d'une norme au niveau du projet et que c'est lors d'une inspection qu'on a détecté ça. Maintenant, toi, en tant que chef de projet, quelle est l'image que tu renvoies par rapport à ton employeur? Donc, vous voyez que pour un projet comme ça, avec cette spécificité-là, il faut être outillé pour le pilotage opérationnel sur le terrain parce que c'est différent. Ça a des contraintes qu'il faut respecter. Il faut pouvoir coordonner au quotidien, gérer ces inspections-là, gérer la sécurité. Tout ça, c'est la responsabilité du chef de projet. Donc là, quand on voit tout ça, on se dit, il faut avoir des compétences sectorielles spécifiques. La gestion de projet, on sait, c'est une discipline qui est universelle. Mais le secteur de la construction, il faut quand même reconnaître que c'est un monde à part. On a besoin d'un référentiel ou des référentiels spécifiques pour les réalités du terrain, que ça soit on a parlé du procurement, même l'administration contractuelle, la gestion du périmètre, comme on a dit, gérer les fluctuations au niveau du périmètre, les évolutions, gérer la sécurité, la réglementation locale. J'entends souvent, j'ai appris, comme je dis, la majorité des chefs de projet sur le terrain, dans ce secteur-là vont dire non, j'ai appris sur le terrain, il m'a fallu 10 ans pour comprendre. Vous allez voir même des offres dessus. On insiste sur les années d'expérience que le chef de projet doit avoir parce qu'on sait que c'est délicat et qu'il faut avoir une certaine maturité pour pouvoir gérer les aléas qui peuvent arriver. On a les ingénieurs, vous avez les ingénieurs qui parlent technique, on a des juristes qui parlent contrat. Toi, tu es là, il faut que tu parles tout ce langage-là. Donc, c'est ça un peu les difficultés, les spécificités qu'on peut retrouver dans le secteur de la construction.
Okay, thank you, Priska, for that enlightening testimony about field challenges. You have perfectly illustrated why traditional approach reach their limit when facing complexity in construction project. Now that we understand the why, let us focus on the how. I will invite Mario. Mario, you are our PMI-CP expert here. Can you present to us in detail this certification that positions itself as the answer to these sector-specific challenges?
Sure, Lord. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you hear me? Is it in presentation mode or?
Try to add your screen.
Let me, okay. Now you can see my screen, is it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put in presentation. Can you see in presentation mode?
Yes, swap in presentation mode. So,
okay. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the stage. So our webinar is regarding the mastering the complexity of construction projects and the PMI-CP advantages for your or our career. I've been already presented, and the next minutes I will dive a bit in these 5 sections. First, to highlight some of construction industry findings. Then in the section 2, I will talk a bit of the PMI-CP certification, the case for it in the section 3, and what mastering the complexity of construction projects means in our challenging world, as mentioned by Priska. And finally, I will share some use cases and put it to reflection with you to understand why the PMI-CP is important. These are some findings in the construction sector. McKinsey & Company find out the construction industry is one of the most industry that contributes to the global GDP in about 13%. But there is a problem with that. The problem is that in the moment when this survey was conducted, only 1% of the annual growth was the result of this outcome of contribution. But we know also that 69.5 trillion in global infrastructure investment will be needed through 2035. But we need skilled laborers. Without skilled laborers, it will not be possible to have this investment and have the right outcomes. That's why these findings also highlight the fact that on 2031, there will be, or we expect, a labor shortage, and skilled laborers will retire. But today we have good examples of the transformation in the sector. Regarding processes, there are some organizations across the globe that use frameworks, approaches, and best practices to overcome and tackle the challenges that the construction faces. We also have technology that has been adopted some years ago and now is gaining more focus as the things evolve. We have the examples of, for example, technology like AI, digital twins, blockchain technology, 3D printing, which is gaining so much focus from professionals and organizations in the sector. But there is concern in the sector is people need to be trained, and with this labor shortage and skilled labor, we will have hindrances to deliver projects with quality within time and within budget. And this is why PMI and his partners, seasoned, experienced organizations and professionals, developed this certification. This certification comprises of 7 courses and 2 certifications. The target audience for these certifications is not only for engineers, architects, because we all know that in the construction ecosystem, we have developers, consultants, contractors, owners, quantity surveyors. So this certification is for those professionals who work in the sector. What are the core elements? The core elements and the advantage of this certification is that we can enhance our way of working. And because of the construction has some concerns and issues regarding sustainability, we have the lean construction principle as one of these core elements. The second core element is the agile and data-driven approach, because we know that sometimes construction projects are seen as waterfall processes. But in our world, our evolving world, with so many challenges that were mentioned some by Priska, we need to have methods, and the agile and data-driven approaches are suited in our complex and evolving world. The using of technology is one of the core elements that this certification pushes professionals to use, because technology will help not only to gather data, but also help in the decision-making process. So what are the four main course modules of this certification? These are the ones listed here, starting from communication, which is one of the pain points we see.
Hello,
that,
Mario.
Yes.
Your slide is not okay. Please try to
changing?
put it in the, yes. Please try to swap on presentation mode.
Okay. So I will stop the sharing.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Okay. I will stop the sharing and try to let me. I think I'm having network issues. Let me try to upload it. So I'm sorry for this issue. So it was in which slide was it? I will try to stop my screen due to. Can you see my screen now? Hello, Lord. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's good. Swap on presentation mode.
Okay. So now you see the four courses, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was mentioning that the four main courses for this certification are construction projects communication, which will be awarded a badge after completing it, and then sit for exam, and then you will be awarded the badge. You have another module regarding scope and change order management. The third one is for construction interface management, and the last one is contract and risk management. Diving a bit in the key learnings of these modules, we have construction projects communications, which highlights the importance of sorry, I think, which highlights the importance of effective communication. One of the main key learnings of this module is the Obeya, which stands for big room in English, Obeya in Japanese, which is a place where the team, stakeholders, can meet to overcome and solve important problems, but not only problems, but to make decisions regarding the project, and which is the place where the PMI-S is normally located, and it's an important aspect of this module. We have also construction interface management, which is one of the most important modules in this certification, and it highlights the importance, not interface itself, but how it can overcome issues when teams are struggling in complex, which is the topic of this webinar, and also with large-scale projects. And here we highlight the importance of some interfaces, what interface types we have, and why they are important. Because the more complex a project is, the more we need to manage them with interfaces. We have these types of interfaces. We have soft interfaces, hard interfaces, internal interfaces, and external interfaces. We can then dive a bit later in the minutes that come. So we have also the construction scope and change order management. These are the key learnings. We need to understand that more than just have a well-defined or planned project, we have to align the project goals to those of the organization's strategic objectives. And the key learnings, at first, we see that business objectives and project performance outcomes to drive scope are important when we are managing construction projects. We have also important tools, and another aspect, more than just having tools, is to have set in place structures for governance to deliver these scopes accordingly. We have one of the core, let's say the core of this certification is the contracts and risk management. And also to highlight that in the next slide, I will talk about the contract life cycle. The contract life cycle is a framework that construction projects and organizations needs to focus in order to deliver projects with quality, with less of hindrances and risks. There is in this model a particular aspect which is related with causes of claims and disputes. And this is what comprises the key important stages of the contracts and risk management in construction projects. We know that sometimes we have a background and the legacy hinders our outcomes because we don't stick to a well-structured process. And these key stages helps us to understand that key critical activities in each of these stages are important to avoid claims, disputes, and sometimes to deliver projects with a quality in time and within budget. And what is needed for to earn this certification, we have to complete the 4 courses. One of them is communication, sit for the exam, and a capstone exam will be needed to sit, and it comprises 120 questions in a total duration of 230 minutes. These are the primary domains to we have to be aware and to study. That comprises all the 4 courses: contracts management, stakeholder engagement, strategy and scope management, and project governance. Well, beyond the 4 courses, there are 3 additional modules that they are not needed to be completed to earn the certification, but they have a rich content that will enhance and improve our competency as professionals. These are construction performance and materials management, construction technology and innovation, and construction execution planning. The case for PMI-CP. Until February 2025, we had 19,000 individual courses that have been completed. And this means that some organizations are aware of the need of these important curriculum to deliver construction projects. Because of many challenges we have here in Africa, some regulatory authorities like the SACP-CMP that is adopting the PMI-CP as a requirement for professionals that will lead construction projects. We have also the Engineering Institute of Zambia, which partnered with PMI to develop professionals in this endeavor, and also to improve their competency with the PMI-CP, or not only, but particularly in this case. We have also 2 examples of organizations in Saudi Arabia, the Human Sources Development Fund, that recognizes PMI-CP to empower their national workforce. We have also the Saudi Contractors Authority, and the Ministry of Works Bahrain is adopting the PMI-CP. So these are cases that we should be aware of the need and how the PMI-CP is being leveraged all around the world. And why choose the PMI-CP? The PMI-CP gives us, as professionals, more than just skills. It upskills us to face the challenges that have been highlighted in the previous talk with Priska. We need to enhance project delivery because we have many complex situations, and construction project spans a long time, and we have many disruptions, both in supply chain. We have the case of labor shortage, skilled labor shortages, and these will impact and bring risks to these projects. So we need to be well equipped to deliver projects with excellence. Now, there are some questions that normally arise. As professionals, what is the difference, or why we should choose between the certification PMP or the PMI-CP? Well, my advice as professional is we should choose both. We should choose both because these two certifications are complementary. In the face of many challenges, we need to upskill. We need to have tools that will help us to tackle and overcome these issues that we face. But telling that the PMP is sufficient or the PMI-CP is enough, it's not a good way to face this challenge as professionals. Because they are complementary, because they have tools, they have frameworks and approach that professionals can use to deliver projects. Finally, I give some good examples of the PMI-CP principles adopted that I invite you to reflect. And the first one is regarding improved performance scenario. On a project with a total cost on 1 to 5 billion, identifying and managing interface points between interface stakeholders resulted in less rework, early completion of the design by approximately 5 months. So, to highlight that, this improved performance represented 25 million in savings. This second one, the lack of appropriate interface management scenario, on a project with a total cost on 5 to 10 billion, the lack of appropriate interface management and the failure to recognize the supply and quality issue between the engineering procurement stakeholder and the construction stakeholder resulted in a penalty of 10 million per week incurred over several weeks. This was a survey conducted by construction industry, and these are real scenarios to say that the PMI-CP principles adoption are important, and one of them is the interface management. And the last one, it was in a project, a water supply infrastructure, where the adoption of PMI-CP principles helped engage stakeholders and avoid contract disputes and claims. Because some of these principles helped make the professionals commit to the outcomes of the projects more than just see their work as siloed work. And this is why the PMI-CP in these use cases highlights the importance of the principles of this certification. And with that, I want to end with this statement that says the key value proposition of the PMI-CP for businesses is enhancing project delivery efficiency, quality, and risk management in construction projects. And this will lead to improved client satisfaction, and that will result in competitive advantage and overall organization's growth. So with this statement, I hand the presentation and ask you to join the community to be updated with the most advanced things that have been developed in the sector, and that upcoming webinars, events, both in person, to be part of this community. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mario. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. So I'll make an acknowledgement to our attendees. Just be sure that we'll share the presentation with you, because you face some technical issue. on our side. Just be sure that we'll share the presentation of Mario with all the attendees. So, brilliant Mario, votre présentation révèle en fait toute la richesse de la certification PMI-CP avec ses modules dédiés. Vous avez bien fait d'insister sur le module Contract Management, tout comme les modules dédiés à la définition de périmètre ou les stratégies d'approvisionnement qui répondent en fait point par point aux lacunes qu'avait identifiées Prisca au préalable. Moi, j'ai particulièrement apprécié vos exemples concrets sur la coordination d'interfaces et comment cela pourrait réduire les litiges contractuels. Et aussi l'évolution, notamment dans 3 environnements distincts, la Grande-Bretagne, l'Afrique du Sud, sur le continent africain, et en Arabie Saoudite, dans le Moyen-Orient, comment cette certification est validée par les gestionnaires de ressources humaines pour pouvoir développer et accroître la valeur délivrée par les projets de construction dans ces différents environnements-là. But now, beyond the technical dimension, I want us to talk concerning professional strategy, because obtaining certification is also an investment in time and money that must be paid off. In an increasingly competitive job market, I will invite Whitney to tell us how intelligently this positioning PMI-CP in your professional path. So Whitney will analyze African market dynamic and international trend with precision. She will observe recruiter expectation, specification evolution, new client requirement, and how those PMI-CP fit on this transformation. With sector and regional make this certification a decisive competitive advantage. So, Whitney, you have the floor to representation.
All right. Thank you, Lords. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, very well. And also your slide is ready.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Must say thank you to Mario, who has really laid down for us what the PMI-CP certification is all about and the various modules. And that's where I'm going to be picking up from, because I have, at a personal level, seen the advantage that PMI-CP brings to my career as a professional. And in the projects that I have done, construction projects, I'm now able to see the difference before and after I have done my certification. I am a civil engineer by training, that is my background, and I have been running construction projects for close to a decade now. So it has really been a journey of growth and certifications. I like the issue that Mario addressed of the PMP and the PMI-CP. I happen to hold both, and I can testify to what Mario has said, that the two are actually complementary. So I have been able to, as I practice, I've been able to see how the PMI-CP has brought an advantage for me, and that is what I want to share with us this evening. And I'll draw richly also from my engagement with various professionals across Africa who've been very vital in the research I've been conducting and in how I've been interacting with African professionals. So just like Isidore and Lords have told us as we started off this webinar, this is a fast-paced environment. The industry is growing, different economies are growing, and construction projects are becoming more and more complex. That means for us as construction professionals, there's a need to be strategic in how we deliver value. There's a need for us to be collaborative and to be able to adapt to the trends that are coming up, be able to adapt and deliver value to our clients and to the projects that we are handling. And therefore, it's for this reason that we are here in the webinar today, organized for us by Expertise and the PMI Africa, to see how, as project professionals, project management professionals, how we can elevate our careers and then navigate through the various complexities in the built environment. So we're going to be looking at this in three aspects. The first is regional dynamics, how the certification has grown over the past few months. Then what strategic advantage does it offer us? And then what is the practical advice that I can share with you based on my interactions with different people on how the PMI-CP can be integrated in your career and how it forms a part of how you deliver value as a professional. So on regional dynamics, this graph that has been presented to us, I think on a monthly basis, I currently have the chart showing the statistics for the PMI-CP holders worldwide as at 2025 April. So what you see in purple represents countries with the most PMI-CP holders, and that is the United States of America. It has about 166 PMI-CP holders, followed closely by Canada. Canada has about 40 something. These slides will be shared so you'll be able to zoom in and see really how many are there. So that's about 74. Then there is the light green, do I call it the light green? And then the green that you can see spread around Africa. So it is observable that the adoption of the PMI-CP is taking root. Southern Africa is doing quite well, and it is spreading all the way towards the west of Africa. In terms of statistics, the country that has been leading for us here in Africa is Zimbabwe. That is as at March 2025, Zimbabwe had 28 PMI-CP holders. They may have increased because this data is about 2 months old, followed by South Africa with 23, followed by Nigeria with 13. I know Kenya, we are 7, Namibia has 6, Egypt has 8 professionals. And really, what does this information tell us? When you look at this graph, it represents the certifications from 2022 December all the way to 2024. So you can see in a span of around 12, 13, 14 months, there has been a spike in the certifications. This represents interests. It shows that professionals in Africa are actually interested in this new certification. It shows awareness that we are getting to know about it. I like the poll that we had at the beginning of the session, and a majority of us testified that they have heard of the PMI-CP before this webinar. That is actually positive feedback. Then there are those who have not heard about it. But you can see the evidence before us tells us that there has been a spike in the number of professionals who've been certified. This means the awareness is there. It is increasing at a good and encouraging rate. And it also means that we are soon going to see the benefits translated to the construction industry. The statistics support how fast the construction industry is growing in Africa. The statistics support how big or how complex the projects are becoming, and therefore it becomes vital for us as the professionals who are leading these projects to actually be equipped and be certified. So when we talk about these construction professionals, Mario has mentioned them, but just for emphasis, let me reiterate, because at some point it appears that when you talk about PMI-CP and construction professionals, some people hear that we are talking about project managers. No, we are referring to anyone who is in construction. You may be an architect. We're talking about engineers in the various disciplines of engineering: civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, mechatronics, marine, mining, name them. Whichever line of engineering you are, as long as you're in the built environment, this certification becomes for you. We're talking about quantity surveyors. We're talking about construction managers, clerks of works. You're in building technology. You're a real estate manager. You're a consultant. You're a contractor. Really, the point is, as long as you are in industry, you are the target audience for PMI-CP. And as we're going to see down the line, the reason for this becomes quite simple at the very basis: collaboration. We need an environment of construction professionals where we are able to understand one another. We have the same language. when we talk about the OBEA, which Mario has mentioned, we all understand what the OBEA is. When we talk lean management, when we talk about Kaizen, we are all on the same platform. And that is what the PMI-CP offers us as the construction professionals. So when you talk about the strategic advantage that the PMI-CP gives, earlier this year, I was privileged to be presenting in the Global Summit Series in Europe, that's in Spain, which was in April. And the focus of my presentation was how Africa is picking up the PMI-CP. So to this end, I had managed to carry out a survey across Africa. I was able to reach 21 respondents in 14 countries in Africa, which are represented in the slide before us. That is from Tunisia, from Ethiopia, Kenya, my country, from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, Angola, DRC, Cameroon, Nigeria, and Ghana. And actually, I'm delighted that some of us attending the webinar tonight were part of my respondents group. And again, what this showed me is it reiterated the element of awareness, the elements of interest, and professionals being able to share what they have gained from the PMI-CP. And that is what I'll majorly also be focusing on as we see the strategic advantage that the PMI-CP gives us. And therefore, when we talk about construction professionals and the PMI-CP, we are saying that one of the advantages it has for us is confidence. As a project leader, we need a situation where I, as Whitney, as I'm leading a project, I am confident in the value that I bring. I am confident in my understanding of the project, in my understanding of the best practices to handle this project. I am confident when I speak to my clients, not only about how the project is moving. I'm able to talk about contracts. I'm able to speak about the contractual risks that we are looking at. I'm able to understand the interfaces in my projects. I'm able to understand the different ways of handling materials, how technology is coming into my projects, and how I can use technology to leverage best performance and to bring value. So the PMI-CP gives confidence. You're more confident when you're managing projects, when you're speaking to stakeholders, and therefore it translates to you delivering value, which is only possible now when you have the right approach, the right tools, and the right skills that come along with this PMI-CP course. When I interacted with Memory from Zimbabwe, her position was that she felt confident in how she's able to advise clients with respect to contract management, which contracts to use on the projects, which contracts to adopt in various projects. And she's able to also participate in conversations. And as this confidence builds up, the delivery of value also becomes part of the results that we see. Again, the advantage is we gain knowledge. That means the different modules that Mario has taken us through each have their different impact in how we handle projects. Whether it's interface management, which deals with how we interact between the different contractors. Whether we are talking about construction technology, how do we use the various available softwares at our disposal? We talk about project communication. How do I handle all the stakeholders at my disposal? So the knowledge that we gain from the different modules really becomes impactful on a day-to-day level. It really becomes impactful in how we see the project, in how we are able to break down the projects and deliver these projects on a day-to-day basis. Then I also love this comment from Shego from Botswana on collaboration. Over the years, construction professionals or the construction industry has been tagged as one of those with the greatest silos. And by this, I mean people work in different silos. So your mechanical engineer is working on his part of the project. Your electrical engineer is working on their part of the project. The architect is busy on his Revit model and designing. And therefore, if we don't find a way to speak the same language and share this information and collaborate, then we are looking at a project that is moving, that may be moving, yes, but with a lot of gaps and facing a lot of risks, whether it's the schedule risk, whether it's the cost risk, facing all those risks. And so the PMI-CP gives us the advantage that as we speak the same language, as we understand each other, we are able to collaborate, whether it's between the consultants, the contractors, the project administrators, we are able to collaborate and to speak the same language on these projects that we are handling. Then again, when we talk about, I'll take us back to the modules. As Mario mentioned, 7 of them: construction, technology and innovation, scope and change order management. I particularly like the scope and change order management because I find that we have a project, you're handling a complex project, and then say, for example, the client keeps adding on some changes. The client wants to add on an element to the project. How do you track these change orders? How do you track these additional scopes? Now, if we are all speaking the same language, it becomes easy for me as a project manager to get my team to sign off on my change orders, because we all understand the importance of change orders. We all understand the value that the change orders bring to our project. And that becomes beneficial to me as a project manager, and it becomes beneficial to the project, because that sort of collaboration and that being able to speak the same language means things are able to move faster. We are able to overcome any red tape, overcome any thing that may be slowing us down, or any bottlenecks that we may be facing. I've mentioned interface management. A comment I got from Angaliso from Botswana is that he felt that interface management is one of the aspects of construction that is not considered much. Somehow people may assume that it just happens naturally. But you see, there has to be the elements of intentionality as a construction manager. I have to understand that the different people and the different contractors on these projects come from different interactions, different backgrounds, and then understand how do I bring all these people and these stakeholders together to be able to understand each other, speak the same language, be on the same page, and deliver value. Execution planning was referring a lot to how we plan out the various scopes or the various elements of the projects. Contracts and risk management, again, a comment from Safari in Kenya that he was a bit gray in the area, but once he went through the PMI-CP, it was easy for him to understand contracts, for him to understand risk management and what this means to the projects he's handling. Memory also said that she always wanted to understand the difference between the different contracts and the applicability, and that was made possible through the PMI-CP course and as she went through the module on contract and risk management. The other module, construction performance and materials management, how do we handle materials on site? Project communication is a very interesting one. Like again, Mario has taken us through how do we ensure that our teams understand each other when we are speaking to each other. And therefore, the strategic advantage that it now brings to us, one of them is international mobility. It means, as Whitney Mogo, I practice in Nairobi currently. If you pluck me from Nairobi, Kenya, and you put me in a project in Cameroon, and I'm working with Cameroonians who I will have met maybe for the first time, where we both have this certification, we are able to speak the same language. So it gives me the advantage of I can move to an entirely different geographical location and still be able to deliver value and still be able to run a construction project, because the basis that we have, or the foundation that we have that has been set, is similar. And therefore it translates to professional growth, because I know that as a person, I am able to apply my skills at any point in the continent, at any point in the world. Again, my perspective becomes broadened. I found that in doing the PMI-CP, I have been able to look beyond Nairobi, look beyond Kenya, and be able to look at the options available to me internationally. And the backing I have for that, or the confidence I would have for that, is because of the quantifiable skills that PMI-CP gives, because it's internationally recognized and because I'm able to be understood over a large geographical area. Again, with the mobility, it means that I move with my good practices. I'm familiar with the good practices from the PMI-CP, and therefore I'm able to translate those to any project I work on. I'm able to use standardized tools which are applicable to any mega project worldwide. And therefore it becomes a basis for you to be able to be flexible and to be mobile around the ground, around the globe. Again, there is the element of credibility. We all want as project managers to be credible, that our voice or our word has meaning for our clients, and it has meaning to the teams that we are working with, that our clients can look at us as project professionals and be able to trust that we are able to offer them value. And for that, the PMI-CP sets for us a professional standard that is worth achieving. And basically, it's because it is developed by industry players. It offers practical insights which professionals can relate to. It polishes our skills, and it makes us ready for any upcoming projects that will be handled across the globe. Again, it's emphasizing integrating globally recognized methods to address any real world construction challenges effectively. And I loved these comments from Bor in Ethiopia that very soon PMI-CP will become the standard for recognition of quantifiable or the recognition of qualified construction professionals, and very likely a requirement when we are talking about accessing the top management roles in the construction industries. So the underlying factor here is credibility. We are credible. When I speak to you as a construction professional, I'm able to come to you with confidence, and you are able to see the value that I bring in. Feedback from the various professionals who've done the PMI-CP. My question to various people was, what do you think of the PMI-CP as relates to us being able to apply it in Africa? And I love the responses that came through because it is actually well crafted for African professionals. And the other comment was that probably PMI could consider more language options, which are under consideration apart from just English. And then probably also including a few case studies or example scenarios that reflect the African construction landscape. But beyond that, the general feeling across the continent for those who have done the PMI-CP is that it is actually currently perfect for the African professional. That means when you look at now PMI-CP integration, what practical advice are we able to get from those who have gone before us and have done the PMI-CP? The first is valuable knowledge and tools which enhance our project management capabilities, which enable us to improve efficiency as we handle projects, and it enables us as professionals to align our practices with global standards. Again, the reason why we integrate, or the reason why we are calling for professionals to integrate the PMI-CP into their work, is because it gives an opportunity for us as professionals to perform our duties using a common language. And there's actually no better certification than this PMI-CP because it has been made specifically for the construction project manager, specifically for those in the built environment. And it enables us to be well-rounded. It enables us to be professionals who are not resistant to new ways of working, but are able to be adaptable. We are able to see new ways of working and quickly adapt and position ourselves. So, as I conclude, the most practical advice was just be curious enough about the PMI-CP, as evidenced by our attendance in this webinar. Be curious enough, plan well, because we are construction professionals. We are busy. We are handling mega projects. Let us plan our time well, allocate time to study, and then it will be very valuable as we link the content to what we are doing on a daily basis. From Nigeria, the comment was commit to continuously learning, commit to apply the knowledge gained to real-world projects. I have most of the time found a gap in this area where, as professionals, we are quick to learn. We are focusing on certifications. I mean, we have all these initials after our names, but then the question becomes, how many of us actually practice? How many of us actually practice what we are learning? How many of us actually integrate these concepts into our day-to-day work? So commit to learn and then apply the knowledge to the real-world projects. Then again, be more interested in the value against the cost, because the training actually comes at a considerable cost. But then the value that is derived from it becomes far much more than the cost that would probably hold some down. A very key one from Botswana was relate the content to your current role and to your current industry experience. And then using your real world construction experience, let it be a foundation so that you're able to understand the certificates and the concepts more deeply. I loved this comment that it is actually worth all the time and the resources that I spent. And at a personal level, I can also testify to the same. The PMI-CP will require your time, it will require your resources, but then it will actually be worth all the time and the resources that will be spent on it. And simply go for it. Be PMI-CP certified, see the value translated from the certification right to your project you're handling. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Whitney, for this great presentation. So, your geostrategic analysis is a very enlightening for everyone here. So, you demonstrate that PMI-CP is not just another certification, but a real professional passport for emerging markets, particularly in Africa. So this also emphasize on international mobility opportunity, and particularly, and you show us that those opportunity are particularly attractive. This also bring some answer to the question addressed by Priska some time ago. PMP or PMI-CP, but in what others? With what priorities? So I will invite in a very brief way our different experts to share different background again and experiences, their perspective, to enrich this crucial, it's not a very crucial one, but this important debate. And also, I will invite our participant to do discussion, to participate to this discussion directly. Why our expert changing, please just share your different question and perspective in the chat. So you could use them to go through the Q&A session. Okay, so this also French. Ok. So I will invite. Je vais donc inviter ici nos différents experts. Déjà, en commençant par une synthèse de ce que Whitney a présenté tout à l'heure, on a vu que sa présentation est vraiment enrichissante et une analyse géostratégique bien éclairante sur ce que le PMI-CP apporte comme supplément pour différents types, pour différentes catégories ou différents acteurs de l'environnement de la construction. Il est donc un véritable passeport pour les marchés émergents et particulièrement en Afrique. Donc, les opportunités de mobilité internationale elle a présenté sont particulièrement attrayantes, mais je sais qu'on reste conscient qu'il peut y avoir des questions, des besoins de clarification en PMP ou PMI-CP. Donc, ce sont des questions auxquelles je suis soumis régulièrement, journalièrement. Est-ce qu'il me faut les deux? Si oui, dans quel ordre? Avec quelle priorité? Donc, moi, je vais inviter, sans vouloir partager particulièrement ici mon point de vue, Je vais inviter nos 3 experts qui ont des parcours et des expériences différentes à partager leurs perspectives sur ce point spécifiquement. On ne veut pas ici faire une comparaison, mais on veut apporter de la valeur à nos différents participants. Et ainsi, je vais donc aussi inviter ces participants à la discussion à travers le chat, donc à poser des questions bien spécifiques pour pouvoir enrichir cet échange qui va suivre. Je vais aussi inviter mon cher ami Isidore à nous accompagner parce que je vois qu'il y a des questions qui commencent à affluer de part et d'autre sur les diverses plateformes. Mais n'hésitez pas à poser vos questions. Donc, moi, je vais commencer par poser la mienne à nos différents panélistes, pas dans un ordre précis. Donc, je crois qu'ils vont intervenir les uns après les autres. Une question qui revient régulièrement, c'est quand. C'est la question du quand. Quand faut-il envisager une spécialisation? Donc, déjà, il est bon que l'audience comprenne qu'au niveau du PMI, il y a des certifications, je peux dire génériques, donc des certifications transversales en gestion de projet, telles que le PMP. Mais il y a aussi des certifications qui ouvrent une voie à la spécialisation dans l'environnement de la gestion de projet. Donc, la principale question, même pour les certifiés PMP, c'est quand? Comment savoir que c'est le moment pour pouvoir envisager une spécialisation? Donc, je vais poser la question dans le contexte du PMI-CP, mais on peut bien ouvrir à d'autres certifications de spécialisation. So, the main question now, my main question is, when should specialization be considered? I will start with Whitney. If you can share your thought concerning that specific question related to the when. Hello, Whitney.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Please repeat the question in English.
Oh, in English. Okay. The main question I receive from different professional as well as PMP one, they ask, when should specialization be considered? How, which key indicator can I use to know that it's the time for me to go through specialization? Yes, the PMI-CP is very tight for the one in the construction, but in construction, the others like lawyers, they are also concerned about the contractual part of the construction environment. So, which answer could you share with them concerning the when?
All right, thank you. The when is when you have been running or leading construction projects for a minimum of 3 years. Am I right, Mario?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. 3 years is set by PMI because of various reasons. The key reason, which I definitely agree with, is it's not PMI-CP is, like we said, it's a specialized certification, but it's not meant for theoretical purposes. The course itself is very highly practical, and for it to actually give you value as a project professional is when you have been leading teams and you've been working on projects for more than 3 years. Because that means when we talk about collaboration, you will have interacted with your engineers, with your architects, with your quantity surveyors for a duration enough to understand their various roles in the project and how you all play together as a team. The 3 years means you will have worked with contractors, you will have seen how the projects run. And therefore, when you take the certification, you are able to see practical elements that you are going to apply tomorrow. If tonight I'm studying on project communications, I will actually pick elements that when I go into the office tomorrow, I know what to change, I know what to apply. When you talk about contractual risks, when you go through the module on contracts and risk management, it will show you the different types of contracts on projects. And therefore, when you go into your office tomorrow, you'll be able to now look at the contract you're working on from a fresh perspective. Then you'll be able to look at the project risks. So the element of how do I know when it's time for me to specialize, the basic thing is you have been on projects for 3 years and above, because that way it then does not become just another certification that you add to your name. It becomes practical and it delivers value. Remember, what we are looking for is value. What we are looking for is a transformation in how African professionals lead projects. We don't want to be the professionals who have initials to our names and have certifications and papers in our closets. But when we come to the ground, we are not delivering any value. For us to transform Africa, we have to be able to translate from paper to site. When we talk about collaboration, we have to know how to deal with stakeholders. We have to know how to communicate to our teams. And so that is the basis. Then it also is called a specialization for a reason. When you look at the PMP, for example, my basic, how I explain it basically is PMP gives you your foundation. PMP will help you as a project manager to understand what is risks, to understand what is quality, procurement, schedule, cost. It will help you to understand the basis of a project, whether construction or otherwise. But then when you talk about the PMI-CP, it puts aside all other types of projects and narrows us down to construction and to the built environment. So it doesn't matter whether you're building an office, you're building a hotel, you're building a bridge, you're building a road. It doesn't matter what you're building. As long as you're in the built environment, then this specialization becomes for you and it helps you narrow down. So to sum it all up, how do you know when it's time for you to specialize? You have been on construction projects for more than 3 years and you are passionate about seeing value in construction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Whitney. I'm sure Prisca could add something based on his own research on that topic. Prisca, you want to add something?
Yes, yes, yes. Bon, c'est vrai, je suis très alignée avec elle. Je dirais que il faut envisager la certification dès que la complexité des projets qu'on gère dépasse les méthodes traditionnelles. Donc, lorsque vous gérez des projets et que vous avez des contrats qui sont multiples, vous avez des litiges qui se posent, les parties prenantes qui sont assez variées, on a une certaine interdépendance entre les lots, on se rend compte que les outils qu'on a ne nous permettent pas de réaliser le projet de réaliser parfaitement le projet. À ce moment-là, c'est un signal fort, on peut déjà se dire que on peut passer une certification un peu plus spécifique. Donc, quand on a quand les outils qu'on a appris par rapport au PMP ne suffisent plus pour adresser les enjeux du terrain, là, on peut basculer et chercher à avoir une certification un peu plus spécifique comme le PMI-CP.
Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Justement, dans ce sens-là, si je peux apporter un complément, comme Mario l'a si bien présenté, je crois que l'audience a bien remarqué que la certification PMI-CP est une approche modulaire. Donc, on doit donc se poser la question, pourquoi cette différence dans le parcours de préparation à la certification? On voit donc on peut avoir, à un moment donné, on peut être responsable dans l'environnement de projet, de la définition du périmètre ou du management de périmètre dans toute l'équipe. À ce moment-là, on peut commencer à s'intéresser à ce module spécifique pour pouvoir monter en puissance. Donc, tout ce que les panélistes ont dit s'aligne avec votre volonté d'appliquer au quotidien ce que vous apprendrez pour créer de la valeur. tout comme on peut être un responsable contrat, on va donc commencer par le module de gestion de contrat et de risque pour pouvoir identifier les meilleurs outils pour pouvoir relever les défis, les challenges auxquels on fait face. Et naturellement, cela va nous permettre de passer d'un module à l'autre. Donc, voilà un élément pour bien faire une synthèse entre ce que nos brillants panélistes ont partagé avec vous. Donc, il faut 3 années pour la certification, mais aussi lorsque la complexité des projets augmente, on peut optimiser l'approche modulaire qu'a voulu donner le PMI à ce parcours de certification pour monter en compétences et donc en valeur délivrée de façon progressive. Je constate qu'il y a plusieurs questions dans le chat. J'aurais bien voulu donner la parole à Mario sur cette question-là, mais je vais plutôt afficher, si cela est possible, une des questions qui nous vient du chat pour que Mario et tous les panélistes aient plus prendre connaissance. J'espère que c'est bien visible. Je vais peut-être lire There is a debate on the approach of development of competency in project management. Are these certification PMP or PMI-CP a loss to convert the gap of needed competency worldwide in project management? Mario,
yes,
I think you are.
Thank you a lot for the question. Well, I will answer both because the world is evolving in a fast pace, and we need to be relevant as professionals to deliver, because we work for organizations and we are in the market to have not only personal goals, but also to deliver aligned with the organization strategics. And this is why these certifications both are to cover the gap, and at the same time, not just to cover the gap itself, but also to enhance what we do every day, because challenges of tomorrow are not the same as the upcoming in the next decades. And these certifications, in the case of the PMI-CP, what has been highlighted by Whitney, we need to be relevant by using and having in hand the right tools to answer with the right speed and accuracy in specific projects, because no one project is the same. And with that in mind, I want to highlight one aspect in my experience, is that after my certification as PMI-CP, I saw that many windows opened, because I realized that some things I was doing before now changes, like the buzzword game changer, which means that now I'm more capable to understand in what situations, in what scenarios should I take the right tools and the right frameworks, because the world demands us as professionals and organizations not only the old ways of working, but new ways of working. And these new ways of working come with tools, with these frameworks. For example, as you, Lord, specified and I emphasized, in terms of contracts, I'm more aware of what specific activities should I comply in each stage. And with this awareness, we are more capable to understand and advise clients, stakeholders within our organizations, and those who demand our services. So to answer the question is to fill the gap, because we want to deliver projects with excellence, and particularly in the case of construction and built environment projects, much more, because it's a world of complex activities, different backgrounds, and different benefits that we need to deliver for organizations and the world and context we perform and carry out projects. I hope this helped the answer.
I think thank you, Mario. The answer is very clear. It's very the very different perspective. So I think the attendees have the answer to his question. So I want to give floor to one of our attendees from the. Is coming from which side? There's someone going through the webinar through his phone, so he cannot type the question. So we let him answer his question here.
Hello, Lot.
Yes.
Yes, with your permission, we have some participants that they want to get in the studio to make more interactive. So
Okay.
we have Quentin Kezia, and we also invite those who want to come to discuss with us. Okay, it's a human discussion. If we are not robot, so if you can come and get in the studio, Quentin. Let me check why we don't see him.
I think he's on now.
Okay, he's okay.
Hello, Quentin. It looks like there's some. You are mute. Please unmute your mic, Quentin. Facing some challenges with Quentin. Let me, before you solve the issue with Quentin, let me bring in another question from Samuel Salah. I think he's the PMI Cameroon chapter president. Asking, is there a plan to introduce the certification into the main sectors, government, schools, or private? You have the chance to have with us two ambassadors of the PMI-CP. So I'm sure Whitney and Mario could bring some answer to this question with multiple phases. So Whitney, could you start to share with us?
Sure. I can start on it. Now, as part of being a PMI-CP ambassador for Kenya and working with the PMI-CP Africa team, one of the things we've been looking at is how we can partner with universities to introduce the PMI-CP. And like I have mentioned, it requires us to have experience or practical on-site interaction with project. And therefore, the approach that we have been taking, particularly here in Kenya, is looking at a situation where we are targeting, say, those who are going in at master's level. Universities, yes, but at master's level. And that brings our target to professionals who are out there working, want to upskill and do their masters, and then look at how now to integrate the PMI-CP into that system. So far, we are pursuing conversations with 2 universities in Kenya. It looks like we are almost pulling through, but it is something that we are actually considering, because when you look at the numbers of professionals who are doing their masters, that is actually a platform that we can engage on. So I think it's viable. When we look at it from masters, from PhD level, that's okay. But again, because of the need for us to be practical, I don't think the undergraduates would be eligible for such. I stand guided, but I don't think the undergraduate program would be eligible. But from masters going on upwards, that is definitely a good platform for us to engage with universities. Yeah.
Thank
I
you
would
very
like
much.
to add
Mario,
some notes. Yes.
yes.
Well,
Yes.
as said by Whitney, this is our one of the main goals, and if not the primary ones. We have to engage all institutions, organizations, mainly government. It's a must because they will support all our efforts in having this common language among professionals. And as said by Whitney, this is for professionals who have experience and undergraduate students, some of them, but don't have such experiences that is demanded to sit for the exam and pursue the course itself. But as ambassadors, we have this plan to outreach to private organizations because they are the players that are in the field and want to bring value to their organizations. So um, feel free to reach out to us and give what organizations and professionals are interested in upskilling, both individuals and as a group. And this is in our plan. So yes, this we have to focus on this outreach to governments and private sector.
One more thing, if I may just add, in addition to our universities and government sectors, there's also the initiative to work with the various professional bodies. For example, in Kenya, we have architects associations, we have the Association for the Quantity Surveyors, we have Institute of Engineers of Kenya. So those are various professional bodies that we are targeting. I know one of the countries that has made quite a good headway is South Africa. They have managed to integrate the PMI-CP in their universities and also in their professional bodies, especially, if I'm not wrong, that's the South African Council for Project Managers, one of those organizations. So that is also a target that we are looking at, how we are going to reach out to the various professional bodies. So as Mario has said, if you have or if you're leading a professional body, this is a perfect opportunity to interact and see how we are going to deliver value to those institutions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Whitney. But another side of the question, so I will go to that side in French. Un autre pan de la question, je crois, ça pourrait, je crois, inviter Isidore, je crois, qui est responsable d'un ETP expertise. Parce que dans cette question-là, je vois aussi le volet programme ETP qui est directement, peut s'adresser directement au privé et au gouvernement. Est-ce que expertise peut, à travers Isidore, partager en quelques minutes ce que les ETP, quel rôle pourraient jouer les ETP dans l'introduction de ce certificat de cette certification au niveau des gouvernements et des entités privées? Isidore?
Okay, Lord, thank you. Thank you for this question. C'est beaucoup plus un appui technique parce qu'au niveau des ETP, we have the chance to have a team of mentor, a team of consultants that can deliver and help organization in the private sector or in the public sector to help them to improve their skills in this construction economy or in the project economy. Et donc concrètement, ce serait beaucoup plus un appui technique, ok, avec l'accompagnement notamment des différents chapitres, et également des différents ambassadeurs, notamment avec les ambassadeurs du PMI-CP qu'on a aujourd'hui. Ce sera une stratégie intégrée avec les différents apports sur l'aspect politique. L'aspect politique, on a les chapitres, on a les ambassadeurs, mais sur l'aspect technique, au niveau des ETP, on a les ressources techniques et humaines pour pouvoir accompagner en fait dans la mise en œuvre de cette intégration, de cette certification aux différentes économies ou bien dans les différentes organisations. Voilà, concrètement, au niveau d'expertise, ce qu'on fait aujourd'hui, c'est le développement, c'est la mise en place de comment je vais dire, c'est l'ouverture de ce service d'accompagnement pour obtenir des certifications qui est offerte au niveau des organisations, également au niveau des particuliers, pour leur permettre de pouvoir acquérir. Donc, il y a des activités de sensibilisation qui sont faites, comme l'événement que nous organisons aujourd'hui, pour pouvoir attirer l'attention, pour pouvoir susciter l'appétit, pour pouvoir présenter l'importance notamment de cette certification et son impact sur l'économie de projet. Okay, so we have the obligation to organize events like this webinar to sensibilize around the importance of this certification. That's what we are trying to do. That's the first thing to make awareness about this certification. Now we offer the training. We offer the training to earn this certification. We have many PMI-CP trainer now to help people or organization to earn this certification. I think that's the two things we are doing now: sensibilization about the importance of or the advantage of this certification, and also to give this training service with the PMI standards, okay, to help these people to get this skills. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, Lord.
It's good. So, je vais profiter, puisque je sais qu'il y a la communauté camerounaise, les ingénieurs qui se connectent. Dans la question du président, je me revois au webinaire d'août 2024 qu'avait organisé le chapitre PMI Cameroun. Mario était de l'équipe qui a conduit ce webinaire. Et je me souviens que le président de l'ordre, pour rejoindre ce que Whitney a dit tout à l'heure, le président de l'ordre national des ingénieurs de génie civil au niveau de Cameroun avait confirmé qu'il y a une réflexion pour pouvoir intégrer des certifications, dont celle du PMI, notamment cette certification de spécialisation dans le cursus de développement et de montée en grade des ingénieurs génie civil au niveau de Cameroun. Donc, je crois que pour apporter un autre volet à cette question du président du chapitre Cameroun PMI, il y a nécessité, il y a demande, même au niveau de Cameroun, comme c'est le cas en Afrique du Sud, où c'est la montée, l'intégration est quasiment effective, le développement en cours au Kenya et dans d'autres pays. Donc, je crois qu'on a, si Quentin, il nous a laissé à nouveau, il rencontre toujours des difficultés. Je vais prendre une autre question rapidement dans le chat avant que nous ne concluions le webinaire. Déjà, je vais remercier tous ceux qui ont posé les questions dans le chat. Vu les contraintes de temps, on ne pourra pas les adresser toutes. Je vais sélectionner une autre question. Donc, la question « Should you integrate the curriculum ?» c'est pratiquement la même. Je vais donc donner la parole à Quentin qui nous a rejoint. Quentin, tu as la parole. Bonsoir.
Vous m'entendez?
Parfaitement, Quentin.
10 sur 10, c'est bon.
Voilà. Quelques soucis avec le réseau. Mais bon, j'espère que... Déjà, je tiens à remercier les différents panélistes pour l'échange riche, surtout pour des personnes comme moi qui sont dans la réflexion de pouvoir passer à la certification CP. Avec la chance que j'ai également eu de travailler dans un projet où on a tous les différents modules qui ont été présentés, la gestion des contrats, la gestion des interfaces. Bon, pour ne pas les citer, c'était un projet d'aménagement hydroélectrique. Vous avez plusieurs lots, un lot électromécanique, un lot ligne de transport, un lot génie civil. Et là, il y a vraiment cette approche de travailler de manière collaborative avec, dans les contrats, toutes les dispositions qui ont été prises pour gérer les interfaces entre les parties prenantes et autres. Et c'est vraiment intéressant d'être en contact avec des personnes qui maîtrisent ce mécanisme-là. Mais la question que je voulais poser, et elle va en droite ligne avec tout ce qui a quand même été dit tout à l'heure par rapport à la stratégie à mettre en place pour développer ces compétences au sein des organisations, au sein des professionnels. C'est celle je fais un constat simple, c'est que le partenaire qui a accompagné l'État du Cameroun dans le développement de ce projet, à savoir EDF, ils ont beaucoup de chefs de projet, mais ces chefs de projet n'ont pas nécessairement des formations. Quand vous regardez leur profil, même sur LinkedIn, ils n'ont pas nécessairement des formations ou des certifications en gestion de projet comme le PMP, le PMI-CP ou d'autres formations. Mais on constate au quotidien qu'ils appliquent tout simplement les méthodes et les outils développés par le PMI. Est-ce que vous ne pensez pas qu'il serait plutôt judicieux que même les entreprises, les organisations s'impliquent à développer ces approches-là directement dans leurs entreprises pour que les professionnels n'aient pas nécessairement besoin d'aller faire des certifications, mais comme l'exemple d'EDF que je viens de prendre, où au sein de l'entreprise, les professionnels ont des petits séminaires en interne, des montées en compétences qui sont faites en interne de l'entreprise, sans toutefois que les professionnels aient encore nécessairement besoin de partir concourir pour la certification.
Question pertinente. Merci, Quentin, pour la question. I don't know if Mario have captured the question or...
Yes, I understood, but after that, Priska can also help, I think. Well,
Yeah.
one of the most important thing about the PMI is that I agree what Quentin said, but the question is, why do professionals still desiring to have these certifications? Because there will be mandatory in some contexts. We have, for example, some projects that are funded by international organizations or even in our context, in our countries. And many of these professionals that are skilled and with experience all around the world want to be certified. And why that? It's like the same as you drive a car, but you don't have a license. It doesn't mean that you don't drive well. You have the skills, you have, driving codes and standards, but sometimes you need to travel, as Whitney said in her presentation. You need to go to another context. You don't have only to think that we as professionals, construction professionals, will carry out projects in our context, in our countries, in our continent. Sometimes we need to move, we need to go to another experiences. And this umbrella of project management empowers us to leadership, to what best practices are demanded in some contexts. But I agree that to deliver a good projects, we don't need to be certified, but in some contexts, for the need of these certifications, my advice is to these professionals to pursue or to earn to look for these certifications because the PMI-CP, in the case of PMI-CP, I was eager to have this certification to, I will say, I won't say formalize, but to have my competencies recognized not only for myself, but for the organization I work for and for the world. And this is what I would like to share regarding the question of quantum.
Thank you very much, Mario. I'm sure Priska wants to tell us something concerning the question of quantum.
Yes, yes. J'ai quelque chose à ajouter par rapport à ce que Mario a dit. Déjà, ce n'est pas parce que quelqu'un n'a pas la certification qu'il n'a pas les compétences. La certification, c'est juste pour attester que, voilà, vous avez passé l'examen, un examen pour une certaine formation. Maintenant, par rapport à la question qui a été posée par Quentin, je suis d'accord, c'est une approche que certains utilisent même déjà. Quand on parle de bureau de projet dans une entreprise, c'est-à-dire c'est un département qui est chargé de veiller sur le respect d'une certaine méthodologie. Et la méthodologie vient d'où? Ça veut dire que au niveau du bureau de projet et par rapport au référentiel qu'on a choisi, on met en place une méthodologie et on forme les chefs de projet pour qu'ils suivent cette méthodologie-là. Donc oui, je pense que c'est une bonne approche, je sais dire, pour des entreprises comme EDF. S'ils ont un bureau de projet ou un département, je ne sais pas quoi, qui réunit les chefs de projet, ils peuvent bien évidemment mettre en place des programmes de formation en interne pour faire monter en compétence les différents chefs de projet, pour ne pas donner l'obligation, c'est-à-dire rendre obligatoire que les chefs de projet aient cette certification-là. Donc, c'est une démarche qui est déjà utilisée et qui est bénéfique. On n'est pas obligé de mettre comme prérequis pour tout aspirant chef de projet dans un environnement de construction ou d'infrastructure d'avoir cette certification-là. On a des dirigeants qui ont l'approche qui est enseigné à travers cette certification PMI-CP. Ils mettent en place une méthodologie, un programme de montée en compétences et ils font passer les aspirants chefs de projet ou bien les chefs de projet dans ce programme-là pour qu'ils soient compétents. Ils ne sont pas obligés d'avoir ces certifications mentionnées pour prouver qu'ils sont compétents. Donc, c'est un peu ça ce que je voulais ajouter.
Merci beaucoup, Priska. Je crois, avant de donner la parole à Geoff Fernandez, qui a aussi ne peut pas poser la question directement dans le chat, je vais simplement ajouter un autre élément au CECAD dit aux éléments déjà présentés par les précédents panélistes. Nous devons aussi considérer la mobilité internationale, qui cette fois-là est individuelle. Donc, comme Whitney l'a si bien présenté, on peut être au niveau d'une organisation et à un moment donné, pour des contraintes qu'on ne peut pas citer ici, on a besoin de quitter cette structure-là pour une autre. Donc, à ce moment-là, la reconnaissance de la valeur, cette structure gardera les pratiques pour elle. Et vous partirez de là en tant qu'individu sans une reconnaissance. Et pour obtenir cette reconnaissance-là, bien qu'étant déjà outillé, vous devrez passer par un processus de certification de vos compétences pour qu'elles soient reconnues parce qu'en tant qu'individu, vous ne pouvez pas déclarer que vous avez ces compétences. En interne, l'entreprise reconnaît cela parce qu'elle vous aura fait passer par un processus de formation interne, donc reconnu en interne. Maintenant, il est question d'avoir une reconnaissance internationale, comme l'a si bien présenté Whitney. Donc voilà en fait l'élément que je souhaitais apporter en plus. Je vais donc donner la parole à une dernière fois pour un dernier participant en ligne, à Fernandez. Fernandez, you have the floor to ask a question. You can unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for granting me the floor. First of all, I would like to congratulate every panelist for the way you shared wisely. And I have a very quick question. For those who are thinking to studying the modules and applying for the exam, I wanted to know from the panelists if you would recommend any or specific order for the four modules, or it's not that important. And I wanted to know also which practical tips would you give for those who are trying to study for the exam. And it will be all. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Whitney, I'm sure you have many things to share with Fernandez.
All right, maybe I can say a few. So if there's a preference for the order of studying the modules, not really. When I did the study, I studied it online. I did the self-study, so there was really no particular order. In terms of preparing for the exam, I had great assistance from one of the trainers here in Nairobi who worked with me and gave me some of the practice questions he uses when he trains people who are taking the PMI-CP. So probably I think Isidore or Lords are in the training field. Probably they can give the perspective from an angle where you study under a trainer, because what I've shared is what the perspective from self-study or going through the modules on your own.
Thank you, Whitney. I don't know if Mario want to say something, but that is a very, very interesting question. So, like Whitney say, as an ATP instructor, PMI-CP, I could share some insight, but first I will give the floor to Mario. Mario, do you have something to share with us?
Yes. I'm a little bit suspect in talking about these modules. Well, the curriculum, the PMI-CP, is developed to allow you to pursue it in any order, depending on your experience and how familiarized are you with the topics that are covered within each module. In my case, I started with communication because I think that communication is a topic that is under domain of us as project managers, and with that, I fall in love with the all other topics and started going, and just once that starts in any order, and just go, and as soon as you familiarize, my advice is to interrelate the modules, even though you study each individual module. So start in any order and go in this journey.
Thank you very much, Mario, for the insight. So my tip to Fernandez as an ATP instructor, from the instructor side point of view, you use three different pillar. Like Whitney has explained, the first thing, you have to justify 2 years in construction field to be sure that you could go through the exam. Why? The question is why. You have to master some, you have to justify an expertise. And that expertise is based on three pillars: the education, what you are going through the 4 different modules, to confirm that you have the knowledge. That is not one part, the education part. And now, the second pillar is experience. So you have to use those module, tools, technique directly in the field. It's for that reason you have to be in the construction field. That will permit you to identify the need at a specific moment, and you will get some motivation to go through the module. If you are facing challenges regarding a contract, you could start, okay, let me start with the contract, because you have to use it to integrate the tools in your experience. And the last one is, the last pillar is exposure. You have to try to use and let the others and get a feedback from the others. When you expose your technique to the others, which type of feedback you get from them, that you also help you to know that, yes, I am in the good way, I'm not doing good. So just keep yourself on those three pillars. Education, go through the module. Which module? What challenge are you facing now? Use your experience to select the right path. And finally, expose. Try to use in real time, in real life, your knowledge, your experience to match all the four modules together. Because at the end, the certification is not module-based, it's skill-based. It's not a module-based certification-based, it's a very skill-based certification. So you have to master the skill, the PMI want to certify. So you can get in touch with us to have a very, very specific, to see very, very specific way how to go through these three pillars. But basically, that is how you try to help learners to go in a very long time perspective and long-term perspective also. I hope different answer, different perspective will help you to go through your certification path. So,
Thank you. Thank you. It will certainly help. And just for instance, I really started from the construction and risk management because I'm working and dealing with it daily basis at work, and intuitively already applied some of the tips. I just wanted to be sure, and thank you. It will certainly help.
Thank you very much for the question. So I think now you are 11 minutes more than the scheduled time. So I will say many thanks on behalf of expertise and PMI Africa to a different panelists. So I will give you 2 minutes for each of you to just share, give call to what is our last word to our attendees, to the community project and PMI-CP certified community too. So I will start with Whitney.
All right. Thank you so much. It has really been an honor to be part of the panelists for this session. And my parting shot is, when you talk about mastering the complexity of construction projects, it starts with us as construction professionals, because we are at the helm of leading these projects. And therefore, it becomes imperative that we move with the trends, that we keep upskilling and we keep learning. The PMI-CP becomes advantageous because it is specialized to us in construction, and because it offers us valuable skills that are transferable across the globe and across various built environment projects. So my encouragement is, look at the value that it adds, be keen on that value, commit, and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Whitney. Thank you very much, Whitney. Prisca, ton mot de fin à l'endroit de nos participants. Je sais qu'on aurait souhaité ne pas s'arrêter, mais les questions, on pourra les recevoir par la suite. Certainement, sur ta page, tu auras beaucoup d'autres questions auxquelles tu pourras répondre, mais quel est ton mot de fin pour notre audience? Ton micro, Prisca, ton micro, s'il te plaît.
Ah, merci de me rappeler, je n'avais pas activé le micro. Ok, je vais commencer par dire déjà merci pour cette initiative. Comme vous l'avez vu et comme ça a été mentionné, c'est un sujet, je suis entourée vraiment de beaucoup de professionnels dans le domaine du génie civil qui se posaient beaucoup de questions et c'est ce qui m'a amené à faire des recherches. Honnêtement, ça ne m'intéressait pas au départ, mais je me suis demandé est-ce qu'il y a des alternatives au PMP ou bien d'autres certifications qui pourraient intéresser ces professionnels-là? C'est où je suis tombée sur cette certification. Et ce que je pourrais dire comme mot de fin, c'est de ne pas voir le PMI-CP comme une alternative pour le PMP. Vraiment, le PMI-CP vient pour compléter, pour plus spécialiser. La base reste le PMP, mais lorsque vous êtes vraiment dans un contexte où cette spécialisation-là est nécessaire, il ne faut pas hésiter parce que on a mentionné tout au long de l'échange, hein, que ce soit par Mario ou par Whitney, avoir une certification qui nous permet de nous faire, de nous faire reconnaître à l'international, c'est très important. On peut avoir les compétences, on peut se former, mais ce qui fait que lorsque je vais rencontrer Whitney ou que je vais rencontrer Mario, on est sûr qu'on parle le même langage. C'est parce qu'on sait qu'on a suivi la même formation et qu'on a eu la même certification. Donc, on sait de quoi on parle. Donc, j'encourage vraiment pour ceux qui ont des doutes de suivre ce chemin-là. Si vous n'avez pas encore de certification du tout, vous pouvez faire une certification PMP déjà pour avoir les bases, parce que c'est important de savoir, d'avoir déjà les outils et la méthodologie de gestion de projet. Ça, c'est de façon basique. Et maintenant, par la suite, vous pouvez obtenir cette spécialisation-là pour vous affirmer, pour vous mettre en confiance dans votre environnement.
Merci beaucoup, Whitney, pour ces encouragements à l'endroit de tout professionnel qui hésiterait à certifier ses compétences. Mario, I will call you last to share your main ideas, main takeaways from this webinar to our audience.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you all, the panelists and the organization, the Parlons Projet. And in simple words, just to say that this kind of initiative is to not only allow the certification for the sake of it, but has a mean to create awareness among professionals of the need to follow how the world is evolving. Because the hesitation sometimes makes us get stuck, but the advice is go, try, and you will see that as the world evolves, the more skills we will need to address all the pain points we see in our days and the next decades to carry out this project. I encourage to start small, but don't stop. Don't stop, because in some international contexts, the PMI-CP is a demand. So don't rush, go step by step, but keep pursuing PMI, because project management is here to stay for the rest of our life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you very much. So, nous arrivons à la conclusion de notre webinaire, mais je vais me permettre de faire une synthèse générale de ce qu'on s'est dit. C'était long, il y a eu beaucoup d'idées, beaucoup de découvertes aussi de mon côté. J'ai compris que je n'avais pas une maîtrise encore complète. C'est ça l'avantage de l'apprentissage continu. Donc, en conclusion de ce webinaire qui me semble être exceptionnel, l'essentiel à retenir, c'est le PMI-CP n'est pas une certification de plus, mais comme l'a bien présenté Whitney, c'est une réponse stratégique aux défis spécifiques du secteur de la construction, puisqu'elle nous a d'ailleurs montré la complexité croissante des projets de construction, ce qui a permis à Mario de détailler des solutions concrètes qu'apporte le PMI-CP, et l'analyse brillante faite par Whitney a permis d'identifier et de tracer des opportunités professionnelles qui s'ouvrent dans ce cadre-là. So the key message, whether you are already PMP certified or starting your journey, PMI-CP can become your major professional differentiator, particularly in expanding Africa and international market. So if I could share call to action, I will say your next steps, explore PMI resources like witness those to have more complement information, engage with our community, and plan your certification path in a very good way. You can also invite you to share this replay with colleagues and let us continue the conversation on different social media platforms. So I will close my topic by thanks to Priska, Mario, and Whitney for your generous expertise. Thanks to our partners, expertise and PMI Africa, and a special thank to you all the participants, and your engagement enriches our exchanges. See you very soon for a new webinar. I will give back the floor to Isidore again for his last word.
Thank you very much, all of you. And just like that, our 11th edition of Parlons Project comes to a close. Thank you for being here, for your energy, and for making this session truly meaningful. Today, we have seen how mastering complexity requires more than passion. It takes structure, strategy, and the right thoughts. And the PMI-CP certification isn't just a title, it's a path to elevate your impact in the construction industry. A first thank you to our amazing speakers, Whitney, Mario, Priska, and the best of the best mentor of PMI-CP with many insights, many mock exam questions on Udemy. Is our best, is my mentor for the PMI-CP. Lord, thank you very much for your availability, Lord, for your impact. Thank you very much to all our audience. Remember, your career deserves to be managed like a project with clarity, intent, and purpose. On behalf of expertise, PMI Africa, and the whole Parlons Project team, thank you very much. Let's keep growing, keep building, and keep leading today. See you for our next edition. Maybe, I don't know the topic, but don't just stay online to our blog. Okay, we have a blog on the website expertisepmo.com, Parlons Projet. For you, we have insights, content, specific content, case studies, and many other on-demand webinars that can help you to grow in the project economy. Merci infiniment. Merci pour tout. C'est le seul mot qui revient à l'esprit. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. And just give what we can give to give to our continent, our Africa, the Africa we want. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Merci à tous.
Merci. Thank you very much.
Merci. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.